Welcome back, students. In the last period, we have seen that the different indicators like universal indicators and litmus indicator. Okay. Now, this was a chart which we have seen in the last period. Let us see what was given in the chart. Now, see the sample of different chemicals are taken like sulfuric acid, water, hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, sodium hydroxide, ammonium hydroxide. Okay. Now, these among these, the first is acid. Second is neutral, then third is acid, fourth is acid, fifth and sixth are bases. Okay, so you can see here in the reaction of when sulfuric acid added to universal indicator, the color is red, as well as in litmus paper it is red. So it is concluded that the given compound is acid. Water shows a green color, then litmus remains red, litmus remains red, blue litmus remains blue, so solution is green, neutral. Hydrochloric acid red, then conclusion it is acid. Nitric acid remains universal indicator becomes red, blue litmus paper turns red, and hence it is acid. NaOH, as we know, OH is there, so it is base, and that's why universal indicator becomes blue. Litmus solution red too, litmus paper becomes red, litmus paper becomes blue. Okay, and then hence it is concluded that it is base. Ammonium hydroxide, again it is universal indicator shows blue color, red litmus paper becomes blue, and the conclusion is base. Okay, so this is the chart indicating the. Now you can just go through the chart. You can understand that how to use the litmus paper and universal indicator. Universal indicator is in the form of solution, and litmus in the form of paper. Red and blue litmus papers are available, and that's how we can get the conclusion after testing the different samples of the chemical compounds. Okay, now let us go to the next point, that is some other indicators. In addition to universal indicator and litmus paper, we have some other indicators like we have this methyl orange. You can see methyl red. Okay, the first indicator is methyl red. Okay, now you can see that in the acidic solution, that when pH is 3, 4, 5, 6, this is acidic pH, this is acidic pH, and then above 7 this is basic. Okay, now you can see here in the acidic pH it is red. Okay, so 3, which is the lowest shown here, that is red in color, so it remains acidic in the red. Okay, and becomes orange in the basic. Now you can see here basic 11 pH, 10 pH, 9 pH means it is basic. Okay, so in the basic solution it becomes orange in color. So methyl red becomes remains red in the acid and becomes orange in the base. Okay, now we have second very commonly used indicator, that is phenolphthalein. Now phenolphthalein also, you can see that it remains, its original color is colorless, it doesn't have any color. So in the acidic medium it becomes colorless, it remains colorless here, and then it becomes pink. You can see here the pH is 11 and 9, 10, 11. When it becomes basic, the colorless to pink. Okay, in the acidic medium it remains colorless, and in basic medium it becomes pink. Okay, so this is the second indicator. Now third indicator we have is bromothymol blue. Okay, bromothymol blue. Now this bromothymol blue remains you can see that here it becomes yellow in the acidic pH. At 7 pay you can see the color, it is green in color. Okay, and then becomes blue in the the basic pH. So these are the three other indicators which are used in addition to universal indicator and litmus indicator. Okay, let us go to the next point, that indicators are generally used in the titration process. Which process? Titration. Now titration is the type of analysis where we can identify how much acid or how much base is consumed by a given amount of acid. Or okay, so acid base titration is one commonly used method of analysis. Analysis मतलब identification. When a titration is done, मतलब ये जो analysis हम करते हैं, तो acid is put into the flask using a pipette. एक जो conical flask होता है इस तरीके का. Okay, इस conical flask में हम acid लेते हैं. Okay, हम क्या लेते, फॉर एग्जांपल HCl लेंगे, ओके, एंड इसमें थोड़ा सा इंडिकेटर डालेंगे. क्या डालेंगे? इंडिकेटर. एंड व्हेन एसिड इज एडेड विद द इंडिकेटर वी हैव टू ऐड व्हाट, अपसाइड से थोड़ा धीरे धीरे, जिसको हम बोलते हैं ब्यूरेट से, ओके. एक अपैरेटस होता है ब्यूरेट करके, ओके, लाइक दिस. एंड देन इन दैट बेस इज एडेड, ओके, एंड देन वी ऐड द base from upside, and then when we reach at the equivalent point, the color of the solution changes, okay, because any of the solution changes the color at the particular point, and then neutralization reaction when takes place, and after that when addition takes place the pH of the solution changes, and that's why the color changes take place, okay. So acid is put into the flask using a pipette plus few drops of indicators, and then base is added from the burette until acid reacted at equivalent point, at which all acid react is shown by the color change, that is called end point. When color change takes place, that is called end point, and that is the end point in the indicator, okay. Indicator shows the color change, and volume of base required in titration acid to be determined, and then we can identify that at what reading the end point has occurred, so we can calculate the required amount of base for the neutralization of given amount of acid, okay. So this is a titration, okay, which we will study in the 11th standard for the okay. So that is one of the you can see that this is the beginning, okay. This is the initial solution, and then when we started addition of base, you can see a faint pink solution you can see, and then at the end point you can see the color has changed to pink, okay, because suppose you can add here the phenolphthalein indicator, and as the phenolphthalein indicator remains colorless in the acidic medium, and when base was added here from upside, you can see here the base is being added from upside. So when base is added, so the color has changed to pink, because the entire acid is neutralized, and then it has changed to pink in color, okay. Acidic before neutralization, neutral at the end point, and basic overshot end point. Matlab you can see that this is neutralized, okay. Before neutralization, this is the neutral endpoint, means at this stage the solution has become neutral, and now whatever we are adding the base from the burette from upside, that is going to be extra, and that base shows the pink color, because till now whatever base was added was not showing the color. The reason is that the base was being neutralized by the acid, and that's why the base wasn't available in the solution to be reacted with the phenolphthalein, and that's why the color was not becoming pink. But now as all the acid is being neutralized, all the base is neutralized by the acid present in the conical flask below here, okay. So that base, now whatever added, that is the overshot, over added, and that's OH minus ions which are becoming extra in the solution, can be shown by using the the color indicators which is present there, that is indicator, phenolphthalein indicator, okay. So that's all, okay. Now you can see there is one more indicator, that is hibiscus indicator. You can see here now the hibiscus, okay, is another indicator which becomes is orange at the not orange, it is kind of reddish at the pH 1 and becomes yellow at the pH 14, okay. So but the color is changing as the pH changes. pH here is 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. You can see that that's how the pH changes, and then at different pH the different colors are shown. There is one more indicator, that is methyl orange, becomes red orange at the pH 1 and dark red at the pH 14. So this is another indicator, okay, that is hibiscus. You can see that the color changes with the different samples of the solution, okay, and then methyl orange and phenolphthalein, okay, is added to the different solutions, okay. Now let us see that. Okay, this is the slide which why hibiscus can use as an indicator for different pH. Now it contains an anthocyanin. This is some extra information which we can see here. Why hibiscus as the indicator for different pH? Okay, it shows the different colors at different pH. Okay, so because of the anthocyanin which is present in the hibiscus, and the pigment shows a pink, red, purple, violet and blue. Okay, and when dye is extracted, that changes its color from see hibiscus. How to make an hibiscus indicator? Hibiscus means hibiscus is the plant. When the petals of the hibiscus flower is kept in the warm water for few hours, and then that water is used as an indicator. How to use it? First of all, take the petals of the hibiscus plant and then put it in the warm water. Lukewarm water. We have to keep these petals for few hours, and after that the extract of that petals will come in the indicator, hibiscus indicator, that water, and that can be used as an indicator, and that shows the different color at the different pH. Okay, so why other substance used can only detect the pH of alkali? So at the equivalent point when obtained, the coincident the one by standard indicator. Now see, this is the this is the actually why the different colors are there. Okay, so flower extract which is used here as an indicator. Okay, that shows different because it has a pink, red, purple and violet and blue pigments. It shows a different color at different pH. Okay, so you can see here hibiscus indicator and phenolphthalein indicator. See different pH values of the testing solution. Okay, hibiscus can show different pH value of the testing solution, but phenolphthalein cannot show the values. Now different hibiscus shows different color in these solutions. Okay, but in the phenolphthalein case it shows only, it remains colorless from 1 to 6, it remains colorless, and in alkaline it becomes pink. Okay, so hibiscus is a sharp color change. Okay, easy to detect the end point, and gradual color change takes place in the phenolphthalein, so uneasy to find the end point. So hibiscus is a better indicator in that case. Okay, so that's why but still we generally prefer the phenolphthalein only. In the acid bed titration we use the phenolphthalein indicator. Okay, mainly. See, we have now the importance of pH in the different places. Okay, now, pH is a very important in the day-to-day life. The first importance is the digestion process. Okay, in the digestion, food is digested at a particular pH range. Okay, so in the digestion process by which foods are broken down into simpler substances, like different complex substances which are present in the food, they are converted into simple products in the digestion process. So mechanical digestion, which is a physical process in which food is torn into different small particles in the mouth. Okay, and the chemical digestion is the reaction in which the large molecules are broken down into smaller molecule in the stomach and small intestine. This we have studied in the previous classes. Okay, and the mouth pH, okay, around 7. pH of the mouth is 7, but saliva contains amylase, an enzyme which begins to break carbohydrates into sugar. And stomach pH is around 2. Proteins are broken down into amino acids by the enzymes pepsin. Okay, pepsin is the enzyme which converts the protein into amino acids. And then small intestine pH is around 8. Okay, most digestion ends in the small intestine. Digestion process is completed and ends here, and the small molecules move to the bloodstream towards cells that use them. Okay, so you can see in the digestion the pH is very important. At this particular pH range the digestion takes place. Okay, let us go to the pH in our digestive system. Okay, now see, our stomach produces hydrochloric acid. As everybody knows, our stomach produces hydrochloric acid. This hydrochloric acid helps in the digestion of our food without harming the stomach. Sometimes the excess of acid produced due to the various reasons, like overeating, or because of the disturb in the schedule of the intake of food. Okay, so the excess of HCl, hydrochloric acid, is produced, and the excess acid in the stomach causes the indigestion, which produces pain and irritation, which burns the inner wall of the stomach, and the irritation causes because the acid comes directly in contact of the stomach wall. And in order to cure this indigestion and get rid of the pain, we can take bases called antacids. Okay, means anti-acids, which is opposite of acids. And antacids are the group of a mild base which have no toxic effects on the body. And these antacids, when taken, they neutralize the acid produced, excess of acid produced in the stomach, and neutralize them. And then antacids reacts with excess acids in the stomach and neutralize it, and that gives us relief. Okay, so this is the one of okay, this is the importance of pH in your digestive system. Okay, so that's all for that's the end of the chapter. Okay, if any queries, please ask on me on the WhatsApp number. Okay, you can share it on the WhatsApp, so I can solve your all queries. And next lecture we are going to discuss the question answers. Okay, that's all for today.